being held. So there was paparazzi, reporters, and everything that all were crowding around the space, so the producers moved him to an identical space where no one would know where he was. It was super far away. It was like 5 hours away, I believe. And this whole time, Nasubi thought, oh, I must have won. But it turns out he didn't. They were just moving him to continue the game in a different location. It looks like actual kidnapping, and to a certain extent it is. The entire time, Nasubi is kind of delirious. He hasn't talked to people in a long time. He even says his mind is clouded with anxiety, and he's saying things that don't make any sense. He's unable to really talk to people or talk around people in general. He's like completely lost that ability due to right around 6 months in total isolation.
しかしこの企画が放送されていることを知らないナスビにプロデューサーはなんか
演技担ぎ
じゃあ私のためってことですねこれは。
身に余る光栄です。
The team told Nasubi that he was moved to a new location for renewed luck, so better fortune at a new spot, because they didn't want to tell him the real reason that they were relocating him, so they came up with that, and I'm pretty sure Nasubi doesn't believe them because he kind of laughs about it, saying, oh, so it's for my own benefit. I think he's very well aware now that this is a pretty fucking evil team of producers here, and whatever reason they had for moving him probably wasn't for his own benefit.
格屋のこれは椅子と机が当たったってことなのかなこれは。社長気分っつうのかね。
当選第1号国用のパーソナルデスク&チェア。
操作しづらいんですよね爪が邪魔でね。爪がこんなになっちゃってるから。
Yo, I didn't even think about that. His nails. Oh my god. Also, who's here? Aaron, are you still here? You still here, bro?
His first win in the new location actually is a fucking fat one. He gets a new desk, a new chair. They're both relatively expensive too, so it's a great victory for him. And he shows his nails. The nail growth is outrageous. He hasn't been able to trim them in about 6 months now. Like, he is genuinely a prisoner here, and it shows.
With this room switch, producers decided to offer a live web stream alternative, causing them to digitally follow Nasubi around with a joystick in order to censor his genitalia. As you can see, the quality of the live stream is primitive, but keep in mind this is in the late 90s.
I couldn't actually find a high quality clip showing how they censored the live stream or did the live broadcast, so this comes from Atrocity Guide as well. What they did is the producers had a whole team that was dedicated to following Nasubi around with a joystick like they were playing a fucking arcade game with a sensor to keep his dick and balls off the screen. And they live streamed him. They wanted to offer a real-time alternative instead of just doing like the weekly Nasubi update with clips. They wanted 24/7 Nasubi coverage for anyone that wanted to go watch. So this was pretty innovative for its time. I think it's definitely one of the first like actual around-the-clock live streams that ever actually aired. It's pretty impressive.
ウィダーインゼリーが当たってかれこれ2週間当選がない。
ここまでね当たんないっつもなかなか久しぶりの出来事でね。
車で移動。着いたところは
ちょっといいよ。
いいですか。
ナスビのあまりの運のなさに見かねたスタッフは当選運の上昇を願い2度目の引っ越しを決めたのだった。
So Nasubi initially had a good string of luck at the new location. I believe, according to Atrocity Guide, he had done 17,000 entries and won decent stuff, but then hit a really bad cold streak, even ran out of food at one point, so the producers did move him again to another location to help him out in winning more prizes, I suppose. And it worked, because he did win more prizes.
ビデオデッキを頭にぶつけ当選の舞。
ほんと10ヶ月ぶりにねトイレットペーパーに触ったよ本当に。
He finally wins food again and really celebrates getting some potato chips, And he also gets a VHS player, which will be nice to go with the TV, assuming he ever wins a VHS tape to play it. But I think the most important thing he wins here is toilet paper. This is the first time he's had toilet paper in his entire stay. 10 months so far. And to celebrate, he tries to take a shit just out of frame, but was unable to. So an unsuccessful mission there, but at least he finally has toilet paper.
それは8ヶ月前のこと
電車でゴーコントローラー好き
6ヶ月前
おー来たよとりあえずまず電車でGO!
Now this is by far the meatiest win he's gotten so far, a PlayStation. That's pretty expensive, especially during this time period, and it also enables him to have real entertainment for the first time in 10 months. This is like a moment that's straight out of like Civilization, where you climb up the tech tree slowly but surely. 8 months prior to this, he won a PlayStation 1 game, Densha de Go, which also had the special controller to go with it. Couldn't play it, obviously, at the time. 6 months ago, he won a TV. So he had a PlayStation game, a controller, a TV, but no console. He finally got that last missing piece of the puzzle, the console, and is able to play PlayStation games now. Well, the single PlayStation game he's won. And what's really interesting about this is his first piece of actual entertainment he's had since being fucking imprisoned here. But also, and this was pointed out by Caleb, this would make him the world's first video game live streamer, because this is all being live streamed. All of this is a live broadcast, and he spent 4 straight days playing his PlayStation. So for 4 straight days, he was being streamed playing a game. This man was the patient zero of streaming. He walked so Twitch could run.
一心不乱で電車で GO に熱中するナスビ電車で GO3 日目に突入
金プレステでございます
He played so much Densha de Go that he had to ban himself from playing it further so he could focus on entering into more sweepstakes and getting closer to freedom. So he stopped playing the game, went back to writing entries, and he was able to do it. He pulled off the last remaining prizes he needed to reach that million yen mark.
一歩間違えてダイヤにしてくれてれば
今回当たったタイヤが8万4000円つまり現在の総額は96万9114円
The tires put him extremely close to completing the challenge. He was right at the finish line here, so close he could throw the Densha de Go disc right over the finish line. Only a couple more wins would secure this, and he was able to pull it off. The final item he won that put him over the million yen threshold was a bag of rice. But Nasubi didn't know he won. It had been 335 straight days of constant, non-stop, relentless filling out of sweepstakes in order to win these prizes. 335 days of torture, and Nasubi had finally reached the finish line, but didn't know it.
ゴールを祝いクラッカーで祝福。
100万になったってことですか？え？ちょっと待ってよ。ああ、やった。11ヶ月と1日前に脱がされた私の服ですね。
Per usual, the producers come in like a group of burglars during the night and start popping party poppers in his face, which scares the shit out of him and really confuses him. They eventually explain that he did win, he made 1,000,000 yen, and they give him his clothes back. It's been 11 months and 1 day, and this is the first time Nasubi's putting clothes on in that entire time frame. So when he puts them on, he says that it's uncomfortable and itchy, but he's very, very, very happy to be done with the contest and glad that he's completed it. But that's not where this story ends.
食べる骨付きカルビにナスビ悶絶。
The producers took Nasubi to Korea, telling him it was a celebration for completing the game and for all of his hard work. So they went to an amusement park. He ate a lot of great food. He had a wonderful, incredible time. And then things got real fucked up.
そこは
脱いで。人は韓国の憲章だけで生きていけるか。
ナスビ大ショック。
Nasubi was making them far too much money. The producers weren't done suckling from this cash cow's teat, so they trapped Nasubi in Korea. The goal this time wasn't 1,000,000 yen. This time he was going to have to enter sweepstakes in Korea, which he didn't speak Korean, so he had to use a Korean to Japanese dictionary to translate. His goal was to enter the sweepstakes, win prizes enough to afford a plane ticket from Korea to Japan. That was the objective. He was stripped naked.
That's crazy. You didn't hear nothing I said. Anyways, I'll tell you what I said right here. They literally brought him to Korea and trapped his ass there. That's crazy.
Yet again, and forced to endure the same torture that he had already endured for 335 days prior. I would like to make a mention here. There is a moment where the producer says, if you don't want to do this, just say so. To which Nasubi responds, I'll do it. So I don't think they had ever forced him against his will to complete these challenges, but he was pretty much promised fame after doing these things. So in the pursuit of Nasubi's big dreams, he allowed himself to be tortured mercilessly for 15 months.
こんなにいっぱいということは商品総額が47,800円ということはゴール46,900円突破検証生活 in Korea.
This time around, however, Nasubi went fucking plus ultra, straight up turbo mode. He had become a master at this shit. So he was actually able to complete this challenge in just about 2 months, which made the producers very upset because he didn't suffer long enough. So they increased the challenge duration. They moved the goalpost. Instead of just getting a one-way ticket from Korea to Japan in economy class, they required him to get an additional 9,000 yen in prize winnings to upgrade that ticket to business class.
エコノミークラスという一番安い料金。こんなに頑張ったのにエコノミークラスとはあんまりだ。そこでビジネスクラスにランクアップ。ペンまであと9,500円。頑張れナスビ。
Yeah, more scummy, evil shit from the producers here. They never even told him he initially completed the goal here. They just let him keep writing postcards until he'd gather another 9,000 yen. They didn't want him to win quickly. They didn't really want him to win at all because the longer he struggles and suffers, the more money they were making. So they let him just keep going and tried to spin it as a positive thing, like, look at how hard Nasubi's working. We're not going to let him fly in economy class, so the new goal is business class because it's what Nasubi would want. Just genuinely fucked shit.
頑張ったってこんなお茶2袋お茶よ。
予 を宣言ということは商品総額は61,800円ということファーストクラスにランクアップ
Oh my
というこ
god.
とはゴールの金額もランクアップ
Nasubi easily gathered the remaining 9,500 yen after winning some expensive tea leaves, so he was absolutely slapping the producer's bottoms, like he was going hog wild right now. So again, they increased the goal without ever telling him. Now, business class wasn't good enough. Now it was going to have to be a first class ticket, which was an additional 20,000 yen, I believe, which again was pretty quick for Nasubi to gather. He won a live octopus, a big picture frame, and was able to gather enough money through prizes pretty quickly to get that final rank up to first class passenger. So then he finally gets the ticket from Korea to Japan in first class, and it's over.
そしてプロデューサーに連れられたナスビ登場もちろんアイマスクにヘッドホンナスビは驚くべき行動に出る
Oh, that's dirty. Oh, that's
なんと脱ぎ
dirty.
始めた
That's dirty. That's dirty. I don't want to see that. That's dirty.
せーのラブ
But the story wouldn't be complete
Yo,
without one
imagine
more
that,
final act
like-
of cruelty towards Nasubi. They blindfold him, put noise-canceling headphones on him, disorient him, and drag him on stage into a mock room designed to look like the rooms that he'd been staying in for the last 15 months. So out of pure instinct, he gets completely nude again. It's the only life he knows, so without ever being told to take his clothes off, he does it anyway. And then the walls break away, revealing a live studio audience laughing at him and congratulating him for completing the show. Nasubi is understandably confused because for 15 months he has been psychologically
so
and physically
pissed.
tortured.
Oh my
So he
God.
doesn't understand what's happening, he doesn't get it, and is shocked, scared, and all around bewildered. It's just one more sick fucking joke from the producers. Millions of people watching the finale, as well as thousands in person watching him, completely naked and completely having no idea what's going on or why. The life of prizes was finally complete, and the entire show, Susunu Denpa Shonen, was cancelled pretty shortly after. It didn't have like a super long run after this, but the toll that this experience took on Nasubi's life obviously didn't stop with the finale. He reported being uncomfortable in clothes for about 6 months afterwards, and his social skills had obviously deteriorated. He said he was a lot more shy and not really able to be a comedian super well anymore because obviously he had been cut off for so long from people. He just kind of lost the ability to carry on conversations efficiently and overall just became a lot more reserved as a result of this. He did, however,
Sound like
sell
me.
his diary, the Nasubi Life of Prizes diary, like his journal, and that was a bestseller. That was a massive success. But he himself never achieved that level of fame that he was kind of promised with a show like this. He did have certain roles in other productions, and some of them pretty sizable roles in other productions, but never a massive success in Japan, even though this is like the most successful live stream in Japan's history. So just an overall extremely sad and cruel story. The main producer behind this show has gone on record and said he doesn't regret anything. He said his goal is to make miracles on film, and with Nasubi, he accomplished that goal. He did apologize to Nasubi, and Nasubi confirms that the producer did apologize to him, but the apology only does fuck all. Like, that doesn't make up for 15 months of lost human contact and health. You know, like, that's a nothing burger. But I guess at least he apologized, even though he made millions of dollars off the back of Nasubi's suffering. But anyway, I wanted to share this story because I find it to be one of the most interesting ones when it comes to like live broadcast television as well as live streaming. This is one of the first live streams, and it was fucking bizarre.
That's terrible.
Extremely fucked up story.
Terrible, inhumane.
And yeah, I just wanted to share that with all of you. Thank you to Caleb and Chelsea for compiling a bunch of clips here, so that way we could tell the story as best as possible. And yeah, that's about it.
That's crazy. Imagine that. The reason why I keep saying imagine that is like, yo, imagine having to be at your crib right now, right? But take away all your furniture, take away your clothes, our electronics and everything, set up a camera, and just sit there. And I'm pretty sure nowadays instead of sweepstakes, nowadays it'll be like people gifting shit, like gifting subs or whatever, depending on where you're streaming. And you just depend on people gifting subs. But mind you, you're not a famous person. So people don't know you. And the production that's making you do that is not famous. They're also new. So your chances at getting that amount of money is very slim. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm not cutting the stream, but cutting the recording for that. Damn, that's crazy. Let me know y'all want more. Well, for YouTube. All right.